Hello, Michelle Hoff here, your Norwex Independent Sales Consultant. I wanted to get on and just really talk to you all about what's our Enviro Cloth. So Norwex has a ton of products that you'll see throughout the party, and I'll demo different things. But I really wanted to just spend a second on a video just talking about the Enviro Cloth, because once you understand how this cloth works, the rest of Norwex really does make a whole bunch of sense. And this one cloth, we call this the E for everything cloth. When used wet, so you're going to get this wet, you're going to use it with water, and just water, nothing else. You can clean 95% of your home with just, again, this one cloth and water. So think about that. No more all-purpose cleaners or any other kind of like scrub cleaners or tub and tile cleaners or floor cleaners, things like that. All of that is gone with just this one cloth. So let's talk about how that even could possibly work. All right. First of all, let's talk about our microfiber. So the Norwex Enviro Cloth is made up of our Norwex microfiber. So in order for anything to be considered microfiber in the United States, it has to be 1/6 of a human hair. So that means if you take one hair off of your head and you give yourself 6 split ends, that's how fine microfiber has to be in the United States to be considered microfiber. Charity, get down. Sorry, our dog in the background. All right, so then Norwex, though, says that's not good enough. Norwex says 1/200th of a human hair. So if you take your hair and you give yourself 200 split ends, that's how fine our microfiber is in all of our cloths. All right, so that's huge. Now, that's the microfiber that makes up the Enviro Cloth. But even more than that, the microfiber that's making up this cloth is so dense and woven together in what we call a star-like pattern. So when it goes to work on any surface, so I'll tell you how to use it, but you're going to use it flat. So when you're using it flat across any surface, you are going to pick up 99% of all bacteria particles, things like that, right on that surface because of that star-like pattern grip. It's actually picking up as opposed to, so it's mechanically cleaning as opposed to chemically cleaning where you're laying down toxins to try to kill what's ever on your surface, and then you have the dead germ bacteria or whatever along with the chemical residue. Here, you're mechanically cleaning, so you're picking it all up and you're trapping it inside that star-like pattern. So once the bacteria, the germs, whatever you've collected in there is trapped in there, it stays in there. It will not get out of there until you tell it to, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But not only do we have this great microfiber itself, not only do we have this great weave, but we have so much microfiber woven into this one cloth that if you were to unravel it, it could stretch from Manitoba, Canada, all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. That's how much microfiber is woven inside here for not only that strong, super tight pattern of weave, but also to give it that endurance that it needs as well. All right, so that's how our microfiber works. And I want to point out to you our tag here. So if you take a look here, you'll see that all of our cloths have our tags on them, and they will always tell you the name of the cloth. Like this will tell you, this is the Enviro Cloth. But I want to point out to you something over here as well, where it says backlock, because not only is our cloth a hard-working cloth that will work to pick up 99% of any bacteria or germs or anything on any surface. But once you tell it that you want to release it from the trapped pattern to rinse, you then hang it to dry and the back lock goes to work. So let's talk about that. Once you're done using your cloth, now you will use your cloth. I always tell people it has 8 working sides. So if you fold it like this, you have side number 1, side number 2, side 3 and 4, and then you're going to turn it like inside out or right side in, whatever way, and you have 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you have 8 working sides that you could essentially take this to your whole house, clean one side, you're like, maybe that's a little, maybe that got a little bit gunky, and that's full, the microfiber is full to the brim. You're going to flip it around, and you're going to use the other side, and then you're going to flip it around and use the other side. So you're going to keep using this one cloth. When you're done though, so now you have all that stuff that you've picked up is now trapped into those fibers and it's not letting go. What you're going to do, and you're going to see some demos I have on that as well, showing you that. But now what you're going to do is you're going to get this and you're going to get it under hot water, and you're going to do what we call a power wash. What that means is you're going to press, agitate, and rub. So you're going to take this this cloth under hot water, and you're going to rub it against itself. What that hot water is going to do is it's going to open up those fibers, so like that'll expand those fibers to let them release. And then when you're pressing, agitating, and rubbing, it's going to activate anything in there that's going to fall right out, go down your drain, and call it a day. Now, let's go back to what I was talking about with that back lock and the tag here. What you're going to do after you get it all rinsed out and ready to go, you're going to after it's wet, you're going to get it and you're going to fold it in half again, and then fold it against itself. And then you're going to wring the heck out of that baby. You're going to get it as dry as you can, wringing it. And then you're going to take the tag and you're going to hang it to dry. All right. While it's hanging to dry, that back lock goes to work. And here's the key. It self-purifies your cloth. So let's talk about that for a second. What our back lock technology is it's liquid silver that's woven into each of the fibers of the microfiber. And as it's woven into those fibers, what that is it acts as an antimicrobial. So if you know anything about silver, silver is an antimicrobial. If you ever heard the term someone was born with a silver spoon in their mouth, it's because back in the day when there was like the plagues and all these diseases and things like that, people who were really rich could afford to feed their family off of pure silverware, because silver is a natural antimicrobial, meaning bacteria cannot grow on the surface of silver. It's a natural inhabitant. So rich people could afford to do that. So that's where we got the term born with a silver spoon in your mouth, because it meant you're rich, right? That you have all the world handed to you. But that's where the phrase came from. They also use silver in hospitals, burn victim units, all of that, because it's a self-purifier. So that liquid silver is woven into each and every one of our cloths. So I should say 90% of our cloths. And we'll talk about why when we talk about the care of your cloths, because some people want to use regular soap with some of their cloths. So 90% of our cloths have backlock. We do have 10% that don't, that people want to use regular soap with. But this definitely has the backlock. So when you hang it to dry, no bacteria is growing on your cloth. So did you ever have those kitchen towels or kitchen washcloths or any of them that end up having that stink to them later? That stink is bacteria. You won't have that problem with the Enviro Cloth. So I always tell people, I usually wash my Norwex once every 3 weeks or so, sometimes 2 if I'm using it really that frequently. And I'll have a whole video talking about how to launder your Norwex cloths and things like that. But in the month of December last year, I wanted to be more present for my family, so I only did Facebook parties. And usually when I'm coming home, if I'm not washing my Norwex like frequently, every 2 or 3 weeks, it's when I'm coming home from a party, I'll usually do my Norwex. But I went the entire month of December not washing any of my Norwex, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and nothing smelled. It was like, geez, I probably should wash these, I guess. So if I'm just doing Facebook parties, I've made a note now, every 3 weeks, wash my Norwex. Otherwise, when I'm at in-home parties, I do them right after anyway. But nonetheless, so that's the Enviro Cloth. That's how the Enviro Cloth works. That kind of gets you to understand a little bit more about Norwex and everything like that. So any questions, you let me know, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.